Euclid's algorithm and extended Euclid's algorithm. Euclid's algorithm is mainly used for calculating the GCD of two numbers. So you might be already knowing any other kinds of methods for calculating GCD of two numbers, like factorization methods are there and other methods are also available. So this is one another technique for calculating the GCD of two numbers. And extended Euclid's algorithm is used for calculating the inverse of a number. So again, different methods are available for solving this, like tabular method is also available. Maybe you might have already solved some problems related to that in any other mathematics related paper, but the one which we are going to see it over here is the Euclid's algorithm and the modification of the Euclid's algorithm, which is going to be the extended Euclid's algorithm. So Euclid's algorithm, the raw Euclid's algorithm is used for calculating the GCD of two numbers, and the extended Euclid's algorithm is used for calculating the inverse of a number. Okay. So coming to Euclid's algorithm, there is a specific name for any two numbers whose GCD value is equal to 1. So the name which is given to such kind of numbers is referred to as relatively prime numbers. So relatively prime numbers plays a very important role in cryptography, because whenever we are selecting the keys, or whenever we are selecting the secret key for doing the encryption and the decryption process, we need to make sure that the key is going to be a prime number. So why I am ensuring that the key should always be a prime number is because only if it is a prime number, you can make the automated algorithm for password cracking. So what you can do is that algorithm will be taking a longer amount of time to find out what exactly is the secret key which is being generated, because it is going to be a prime number. If it is going to be odd or an even number, in that case it will be very easy to guess. If it is going to be a prime number, in that case that makes my algorithm slow enough to find out what exactly is the key which is being used. So even when the algorithm finds out what exactly is going to be the prime number, by that time we might have changed the password or we might have changed the key, so there is no use for the hacker even after knowing the password. So relatively prime numbers plays a very vital role in cryptography. So you need to always make sure that whenever you are selecting the keys or whenever you are selecting the passwords, it should be definitely a prime number. So only when the GCD of any two numbers is equal to 1, in that case they are referred to as relatively prime numbers. So I told you Euclid is used for calculating GCD and extended Euclid is used for calculating the inverse of a number. So we will see one example. Suppose like the question which is given to you, I need to calculate the GCD of the numbers 12 and 5. So what we are going to do is, whatever be the GCD value, the combination which is given to you, it might be a bigger number in the X part, or it might be a smaller number in the Y part. So in some other case, I may have a smaller number in the X category and the bigger number in the Y category. So even if you are given with like GCD of 5, 12 or GCD of 12, 5, for whatever be the case or whatever be the question which is given to you, so among the two values, pick that bigger value. So among this 12 and 5, the largest value is going to be 5. So this 12 you need to represent in terms of the smaller number. So only I have two terms. The largest term you are going to select it, and the other term you are going to make use of it to represent the largest term. So in our case, the largest term is going to be 12. This 12 I need to represent by making use of this 5. So how can I represent 12 in terms of 5? I can write it as 5 into 2 plus 10, because 5 into 2 is going to be 10. Plus if I have another one more 2, it is going to be 12. So this is how I can represent 12 in terms of. So this is not. I'm going to take this symbol. So this largest number 12, the largest number you are going to represent in terms of the smallest number. So the largest number I have written it over here. The smallest number I have written it over here. So this 2 will be acting as a coefficient, and this 2 is going to be an additional 2 which I need to add in order to make this entire calculation as 12. So next what we are going to do is, this 5 I am going to take it over here, This 5 you need to represent it in terms of this remainder 2. So this is what we are going to do it in the next step. In the first step, pick the largest number, represent in terms of the smallest number. So the smallest number here is going to be 5. In the next step, the smallest number 5 is going to get represented by using this remainder 2. So how I have represented here is this 5 has come over here and this 2 is come over here. So this is going to be 2 into 2 plus 1. So don't confuse this 2 and this 2. So both the 2's are different. So this 2 is going to be the remainder 2 and the other 2 is going to be the coefficient. So you need to be careful while you are doing the substitution, so don't confuse the values. So next calculation, obviously I have done the calculation for 5. So now this 2 you need to represent in terms of 1. So that is what we have given out over. So 2 So 2 we are going to represent it in terms of 1. So the answer is going to be 2 is equal to 1 into 2 plus 0. So after this you need not do any more substitution because I have got the remainder as 0. So once you have got this remainder as 0, it means that is going to be the end of your iteration. The step which is going to come before this particular remainder 0 will give you the GCD of the number. So I got a 0 over here. So that particular calculation which gave me the final answer is 0 is this particular thing. So in this the remainder value is going to be 1 and that will be the GCD of the number. So the GCD of 12 and 5 is going to be. We'll see one more example. Assume like we need to calculate GCD of 112 and 42. So pick the largest number, represent that by making use of the smallest number. So the largest number is going to be 112. So 112 I need to represent that in terms of the smallest number 42. So 112 is equal to 42 into 2 plus 28. So obviously the next step is this 42 you need to represent in terms of this remainder. So 42 should come here. 42 I need to represent in terms of 28. So that is what we have done over here. 42 in terms of 28 we have represented. So next term, this 28 should be represented in terms of 14. So 28 is getting represented in terms of 14. So 28 comes here and 14 comes here. So I need not do any more calculation over here because I have got my final remainder as 0. So once you are getting the value as 0, you can stop your iteration. So look into the previous step and find out what exactly is going to be the remainder. So plus some value I am going to have. That value will give you the GCD. So the GCD of 112 and 42 is going to be